Hey y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have this week's But Do They Water Marble featuring the Lucky Colors collection by Serum Number 5. These are available right now. I know this segment is very late this week, but I figured it would be better to do it later than to skip out. So I'm so excited to share these with you. They were sent to me for review, and I do have my full swatch and review. I can link that down in the description box if you're interested. This is one of my favorite all-time marbles, and I'll go ahead and show you how they performed. So, as always, I'm starting with my tiny teacup. I did bring it back this week. Thank you guys so much for your support. You really don't know how much that meant to me. I'm going to drop these polishes first from white all the way back down to brown. So this is Monkey to Horse, and these did an amazing job at spreading. You can tell here that Monkey has a little bit of a different formula than the other polishes. It was more of a Corelli as opposed to a hollow, so it did spread the slowest, but it still did do a pretty good job. I did have a little bit of a film there on top of the water. That's why it kind of stalled out in the center of my bullseye. I thought that I was going to have to break them in half and do 6 first and then show you what the other 6 look like, but these actually did pretty okay. I'm going to go in first for a linear pattern here, and you can see that outer ring did dry a little bit. I noticed that happened every single time I tested these. A linear pattern does work really well. It was a little bit overpowered by that brown since it was the last drop, but still a beautiful finish. Next, I'll show you how they dropped in the reverse order, and I think this is going to give you a better idea on how these polishes spread. They do such a good job. They also did a really good job at not bleeding into the next color. They each retained their pigment super well. So here I'm going to go ahead and bring it to the outside edges of the cup and keep building on that bullseye. I was able to get 12 drops here, no problem at all. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I do feel like I wasted this drop. The pattern that I went in for ended up kind of funky, but this did build a beautiful bullseye. I noticed that these were a little bit slow to drop as well. You can see I'm kind of having to tap on them with my index finger to get them to drop. That's not a super big problem, but it is something to note. So here I thought I would pull all of my points outwards, and that kind of pushed the color more towards the edge than I was willing to do. That outer ring definitely did dry a bit, and then I was going to pull all the points inwards. It does make really pretty whale tails, but I got a lot more of the white here than I intended to. So here I'm going to go ahead and show you I prepped for my final look using Tux Polishes Pure as well as Sexy Cuticles by NDJ Creations. For the final look, I just wanted to use more of the primary rainbow colors. So here I'm using the red. I did throw that pink in there too, just for fun. And I'm going to work my way all the way down through the Roy G. Biv order, all the way down to the purple. I thought that I was going to stop there, but I did go in for a second round of each color. This ended up overloading my bullseye a little bit, but I do love the tiny concentric rings that this added. I'm going to go in for a petal pattern here using my water marble tool, and you can see that that outside edge is definitely dry, so don't want to touch that at all. Just start pulling from the center rings. The thing that I found that helps the most with keeping this from getting muddy is dipping my tool into the center and pulling out all of that excess polish. That way you get the smaller rings without it getting muddy on you. So next I just dipped it down and collected the excess with my Q-tips. I'm top coating here with Liquid Macro by Super Chick Lacquer, and I love this. I think this was my ring nail, and it ended up being my favorite. So here's a look at that completed mani with top coat. I so regret not getting these out in the sun. I do feel like this was one of my top 10 favorite water marbles of all time. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle under artificial lighting. So if there are any other collections that you guys would like to see tested for water marbling, please leave your recommendations down below. I do have a pretty good lineup for the next few weeks, but I always love hearing what you guys would like to see. I was also kind of tossing around the idea of maybe doing a live version of this. That way you could see, you know, obviously there are drops that I mess up and things like that, so I kind of start over, and those don't make it into the final cut. I thought that it'd be really fun to show you guys how it happens in real time. It's definitely something I would have to plan ahead for, but I'd really like to know what you guys think. So that's all for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.